And we are back for our last Draft Stars show of the season here. And crazy enough that the form of Cleary at the moment, he's at over 100. I've never seen that before, 100.5 and a whopping $26,150. Can you fade him in this one? It's going to be very, very tough there. Billy Walters been playing really well of late. Obviously, the 73.8 and a 53 in there. So he's under 10K and could be a very interesting flex type of option in this one if you think that he can get out dummy half and get into his work. But against Panthers, I'm really seeing this as a pretty difficult process for him. We know what Luai was able to do for a good portion of time there as well. So the last 3 games for him haven't been very high. That did include a lower minute game last week and the injury affected one before that as well. So really it's up to you to go up top. And Reynolds is the guy. Obviously a lower one last week at 40, but we'd expect him to go back over 50. I think it's going to be very, very difficult to get Cleary out of his side. If he can be a 100 type of player over the last 3 weeks, that includes a 77.5 last week, and he was pretty good, but he didn't have to do everything in that one. He's really going to have to step up with the kicking. So I think Cleary's going to be your man. Rhys Walsh as well, the most dominant player on this list, but To'o is scoring better at the moment. We know that he steps up in finals matches. You see the last 2 games for him have been some of the highest of his season, and plenty of tries to boot on that one as well. So there's so many great scorers in this side and in these 2 sides here, and you see that dominance throughout with about 7 guys that are averaging 40 plus here. Selwyn Cobbo is your cheapest guy here. Him and Taruva, they could get you a 50 plus, and you see Sunya absolutely dominating the recent sort of 5 games there. So you are going to need to save at some point, and I think it's going to have to be in these outside backs and then in the forwards as well. So I think Taruva and Cobbo are going to be a couple of the guys you want to look at. Obviously, then Crichton's your next sort of cheapest that I'd be looking at. It's going to be very, very tough to get up to To'o and Walsh, but I think if you are going anyone up there, then To'o is going to be your guy. So we get to the forwards end, and as I said, it's going to be hard to select any of these guys if you've got Cleary in your squad. So you need to be looking down at the Jordan Rickies of the lot, and for some reason, Moses Leota is under the 10,000 mark. So him averaging pretty well 40 is a must-have in your sides in this one. And then someone like Lindsay Smith's a bit of a cheeky one. So 24 last week in a game where he still played some decent minutes, but he's someone that can get you that mid-30s plus if he manages to get some decent minutes. But I suppose in this one, the main worry is if you get really big minutes from Leota, from Fisher Harris, and he doesn't get on the park. So if that's the case, then you do need to be looking at the Fisher Harrises, the Thomas Fleglers, and Scotty Sorensen, these type of players there, if you can't get up to a Liam Martin, because the rest of the guys are way too expensive. So that's why I'd be looking at it. If you pop Cleary in, you've only got 74,000 remaining for the 6 players there, which is pretty tough. So I think you really just need to look at some of those lighter options. And if you do go away from Cleary, which you happen to, then you need to be locking in the Martins, the Payne Hasses of the world, and then going up for Rhys Walsh and To'o in that one. I wish you all the best of luck in the last game of Draft Stars for this season.